Yeah.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will now start on an auspicious note with a prayer rendered by Dr. Dhareshwari, our beloved Dharesh Bhabi.
Start.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कर्मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ज्योतिषामपि तज्ज्योति तमसा परमुच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितम् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसोर्मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगविद्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवनमुक्ति निश्चलतत्वे जीवनमुक्ति निश्चलतत्वे जीवनमुक्ति. Thank you.
Thank you, Dharesh Bhabi.
Namaste.
Get on with our Geeta Ji has just joined in, our Vice President, Mrs. Geeta Karan.
Namaste to everybody.
Namaste, Geeta Ji. Respected sponsors, Dr. Sachin Chandra, Mrs. Praveena Mathur, Mrs. Sarin Mathur, their spouses, Mrs. April, Sudeep Chand, and Mr. Ashish Kumar and their children. HMK Education and Welfare Society President, Dr. Dinesh Raj Mathur, Vice Presidents, Dr. Geeta Karan, and Mrs. Asha Kumar, Secretaries, Dr. Sujita Mathur and Dr. Manoj Chandra Mathur, Treasurer, Mr. Kiran Kishore Mathur, members of the Managing Committee, members of the Profile Editorial Board, members of the Mathur Biradri, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We are gathered today to release the January-March 2023 ECO profile that is dedicated to the memory of an extraordinary couple, Mr. Gyan Chandra and Mrs. Kiran Kishore. When you will have an opportunity to read the profile sometime later today, you will discover how this wonderful couple endeared themselves in the hearts of their near and dear. Members of the Biradri would recall how Mr. Gyan Chandra helped in registering marriages and properties and how people enjoyed mouth-watering dishes served by Mrs. Kiran Kishore. Some have said Mr. Gyan Chandra and Mrs. Kiran Kishore were responsible for keeping the large family really close-knit. It is always an honor to present exceptional life and times of eminent members of our Biradri through the profile, especially in my 2 stints as editor-in-chief. I would like to specially thank Mrs. Praveena Mathur and Mr. Ashish Kumar for meeting our endless demands for write-ups and photographs for this issue. I must thank the President for providing unstinted support to the profile team to publish our magazine regularly. All along, we have not borrowed a single paisa from the HMK Education and Welfare Society, but often generated a surplus. This is because of the support of our sponsors and advertisers. I would like to thank our executive editor, Mr. Sharad Raj Mathur, and our member of the editorial board, Mr. Nilesh Chand Mathur, for getting us ads from Vaidehi Farms and Myron Homes, and Mr. Umesh Chandra for giving us an ad of Aspire condominiums. Thanks are also reserved for the entire Profile editorial team for passing on news, and Mr. Mohit Kishore Mathur for taking up his usual printing responsibilities. I must thank Mr. Nilesh Chand for the release, publicity, and distribution of eProfile, and to Dr. Vijay Rai for hosting it on our website. I would like to thank Dr. Dhareshwari for starting off this program on an auspicious note. Finally, I would like to acknowledge with thanks Nachiket Mathur for hosting today's Zoom meeting. I would now like to hand over to our president, Dr. Dinesh Raj Mathur.
Good evening, dear Biradri members. It's really, I hope you all are doing well. Today, we have met after a good gap and to release the profile in memory of, as Rohit Raj said, that the great couple of our Biradri. I remember Gyan Chand as a very, very lovable, jovial, and very important person of our Biradri who has provided abodes to so many Biradri members of our, and they must be really remembering him every day and night. I remember some of our family members who have got the help from Mr. Gyan Chand, and also he has provided the registration of the houses which he helped in procuring it. So which way he has helped our Biradri to a great extent. He was always helpful, always smiling, always in a good mood, and he has always created good atmosphere whenever he is present in the parties. So I'm sure God must have given him the best place in heaven. So he must have got one of the best abodes in heaven and enjoying there. So God bless every one of us. And I congratulate the profile team for bringing out yet another issue successfully. So congratulations, Rohit Raj and his team. Thank you very much. We'll proceed further.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, for your kind words for the profile team. We've always been encouraged by your enthusiasm and also encouraging us all the time to publish our issues regularly. Now, may I invite Dr. Sachin Chandra to say a few words on this occasion. I'm sure he has a lot to talk about his parents. The field is yours, Dr.
Thank
Sachin.
you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you for the very kind words on behalf of my sisters, both Sareen and Pravina. And our families really like to thank everyone on the call today and for the contribution to the memory. So I think I want to start off by saying a thank you to everyone on the profile committee as well, and all the contributors and attendees today. Apologies, I'm going to speak in English, but also some sort of Hindi as well when I can bring that in. So thank you. Namaste to everyone. You will hear my talk as well in the conversation, but apologies for that. So want to start really remembering my mom and dad, and I think it's a long, so many things I can talk about, and it's very difficult to decide where to start. So I think for my mom and dad, it really was very important to live in big families, enjoy life, and bring happiness to everyone. And as a result of that, really, we benefited, and I particularly benefited when I was growing up in a family with my dad's brothers and their families. And we used to welcome all the family members to the house, and we had a great atmosphere, sort of working with the family and growing up in that atmosphere. That really provided us with really great background in growing up, in actually growing up with family members. And I think that was a solid start for us as children to appreciate people, to work with people and love people. So all of that really is a great bond between my mom and my dad as well, which helped us. And they were very hospitable people. So they invited everyone into their family. We had good big parties, and it was very important for my mom and dad to help others and to be with others and enjoy life. And I remember one time really, my mom's cooking, and I know a lot of people talk about it in their memories, in what they've published on the profile, which you can read a bit later on. But for example, one of the people who used to rent one of the house, our house in road number 5, called Mr. Ganguly, and he became a good friend of the family, and he invited his business bosses to our house from Japan, and they enjoyed the food, and so the food is now become famous in big corporate in Japan as well. So my mom really was very good cook. She encouraged having family around when we were cooking. So again, this was very important to my mom and dad. I also remember as a child that we used to go with all of our family members to different parts of India. We traveled together with all my cousins. We had some beautiful time, and really my mom and dad who allowed us to do that. And from time to time, we would go across all of India, but also they encouraged me to travel the world. And because of them, I'm here today in the UK. So again, very fond memory. And Dad was always very calm. So we were traveling once on train with the big family members. And I remember the time where we went to a train station, on a day where we were traveling to the next place on one of our India trips. And I remember arriving at the train station at 12 o'clock, but the train was like left 12 o'clock the night before. So we were in a big pickle trying to work out. But Dad was very calm, and I think some of that rubbed up on all of us, really, all three of us, and as growing up, and really helped us to be, to look at the situation as it is, and be, to be able to be calm and kind and work out. I think I just want to say really, and give others a chance to speak by saying that really everything they did really helped all three of us. They were very keen that all of us got educated very well, and we did, and they encouraged us to spend time. And if they helped us when we were very young, and when it became harder for them to help us with our school homework, they sent us to places. So some of my cousins helped me in getting the degrees and things like that. So all in all, I think they supported us very well, and we are where we are today because of them. And I'd just like to say they provided us with a solid background and solid upbringing, and thanks to them. And I think they try to help the family as well. So it's really humbling to see all of you today on call today. And I want to say thank you to everyone. Rohita, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very nicely spoken. You shared your memories. May I now invite my resource person, Pravina, to say a few words on this occasion.
Sure, I probably will not be able to match to Sachinda, but I will try. Yeah, I think mom and dad were really wonderful people. Uh, they were very kind, very progressive, I would say, and way ahead of their time. The way they handle, the way they encouraged all of us to really kind of take the uh, formal education, and then the way they taught us a lot of things about ways of life. It was really very, very helpful for all of us. Um, I particularly enjoyed this whole journey of creating this profile, Rohit. A shout out to you and Sharad for really encouraging me and then supporting me and guiding me. Thank you. Thanks a lot for being accommodative. I think I've troubled you a lot. But I really enjoyed this whole journey. I mean, I kind of relived the whole memories, talking to everybody, collecting that information. It was really very humbling and very enjoyable for me. I really thank everybody who's come forward to share their memories, and I hope they enjoy reading about our dear parents. Thank you.
Thank you, Pravina. Now, can I call upon Saran? Saran is, of course, an author, a recent author, and I'm sure we'll be looking forward to a few more books from her. So, can we listen to you for a few minutes?
Yeah, thank you, Rohita. I'll add on to what Pravina said. Like, we love the going through the process of and journey of putting together the memories shared by everyone in the profile. And I want to give a thank you for promptly and willingly sharing the experiences of mom and dad with us. So I feel very blessed to be brought up in a family with so much of love, warmth, and laughter. Sachin and Pravina told a lot about mom and dad. Whatever we are all today, we all owe it to them. They have always spread happiness and spoke words of encouragement whenever it was needed. And they have guided us and the immediate families through various situations and challenges which we have faced in our lives. Though they are no longer with us physically, but their presence lives in the love and the memories which they left behind. And I once again want to thank Dinesh Da, Rohit Da, and the entire profile team for collating this content and making this profile happen, and hope everyone enjoys reading it well. Those are my few words, and I'll invite Ashish to speak next.
Thank you. Now I think that it's time for the damads to speak.
Yeah.
Who would be the first one to speak?
Sudeep, can you go?
I leave it to you. You guys want to toss a coin, you can do it.
I think I'll give Sudeep a chance first.
All right, Sudeep, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sudeep,
I do have-
incidentally, is a former colleague of the electricity board. Yes. Go ahead,
remember
Sudeep.
that they're very loving parents. I think they are second parents to me. Right from the beginning, my mom used to love me very lot. Dad was a cool guy. I learned many things from him in the being with them. And mom was a great cook, no doubt. She used to cook very good food, and I was used to eagerly wait for dinner. Karo bhi nahi bolte the. I used to wait for the dinner time. Yeah, good food. And by the way, Dad used to help in a lot of ways. Not only Biradri people. I remember an instance when I was working, when I was posted in Medak, we had to do some land acquisition for our substation. I went and met the sub-registrar there. He was some Muslim guy, I don't remember his name. On that, in the conversation, he asked me, "Saab, aap kya kayas the kya?" I said, "Yes, I'm kayas." So he asked me, "Kya aap Gyan Chandra ko pehchante?" I said, "Arey, wo to mere sasur hai." So then he told me that how Gyan Chandra has helped him. Dad has helped him when he was a lowly clerk. He helped him in English, especially he was very poor in English. So he has helped him in English, and he have picked up the English, and he said, "Aaj Gyan Sahab ki wajah se aaj main post pe baitha hu."
नहीं तो मैं कल के ऐसा क्लर्क ही रहता था. See this, he used to outrightly help everybody. He was a very great guy. Ashish.
Thanks, Sudeep. Good evening and
Would you
namaste.
like to speak like you did in the skit recently?
Skit. Copy the skit. Oh, that tone, I have to prepare for that tone. Anyway, that's an experience by itself. Anyway, good evening, everyone, and namaste. To start with, speaking about my in-laws, they were outstanding and fantastic. I mean, I feel really proud to be their son-in-law. To start with mom, yes, a lovely, selfless soul. And whenever I visited Hyderabad, as everybody said, she's a good cook, rather a good chef. So whenever I visited Hyderabad, she used to prepare all my favorite ghazal, which I really enjoy. Kursi Miane. Oh, fantastic. So I still remember those lovely food I had in the house whenever I visited from the places where I worked with. And dad, a gem of a person, as everybody said, yes, and from whom I have learned many things and have imbibed in my life. I have never seen such a person so far in my life with a great attitude, full of determination and strongest will I ever seen to anybody. A person with high level of positivity and positive attitude. एक चीज याद है, मेरे को बोलते थे हमेशा, Ashish, just keep in mind, whatever happens, happens for good. So be with it, fight it out, and then come out of that. And really, that still works with me well. And never think negative of any issue or any situation. So we need to work on that. That's what he taught me. And let me, not speak much more, end by saying, thanking Praveena for actually really spearheading this initiative of felicitating them and refreshing our memories, reliving them during last few months now. I would also like to thank Rohit Da, Dinesh Da, Manoj Da, an entire profile team, and then of course the entire HMK society, and people who are right now joining us. Thanks for helping us, accepting our proposal and doing this for us, Rohit Da. Our sincere thanks once again to the entire HMK family and for the one who has joined today to this event. Many thanks and namaste. Over to the others to speak.
Thank you, Ashish. Ashish, incidentally, is a celebrated marathoner for, I think many of you may know, and some of you who don't could read this in the profile. Anybody from the grandchildren side? Would your Sachin, would your wife like to speak?
Rohit, she's on call today. She's working, so unfortunately.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think we'll shift to the grandchildren now. So who would like to speak first?
I'd like to go first.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So, hello everyone, a big warm namaste here, and thank you for being here this evening. I honestly don't know where to start, and I don't think anything I would say would rightly describe Nana and Nani's legacy, but I'll definitely try. So, my Nana and Nani were the absolute best in the world. And this is something that I can say with pride on behalf of all the grandchildren, I'm sure. Ashrin, Saket, Natasha, Shresh, Abigail, and me. Am I right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Honestly, not only us, but I'm sure everyone here on this call can attest to the same. Nana and Nani, to all their relatives, loved ones, friends, and acquaintances, were well respected and loved. They played many roles in their lives. They were often support systems, imparting their knowledge. They were excellent hosts and extremely social. I mean, I've heard raving reviews of the parties that were hosted by them, which were often grand, generous, and heartfelt. I think they crept into the hearts of everyone that they met and made an everlasting impression on them. And while they were all of that to the world, to us children, and to especially me, they were the epitome of love, happiness, and guidance. I think they personally, I think they radiated just warmth, happiness, and they were always smiling. Uh, to me, Nana was a true gentleman. He had so much patience, so much kindness and wisdom. He was always so proud of all of our achievements and found happiness in all the small, silly things that we had. He encouraged all of us to do whatever our heart wanted. I remember when I was about to study design for my undergrad, it was pretty uncommon back then. And he had my back, despite not fully grasping what all was a part of it. He was there for me. And one of my most fond memories of him is just sitting in his room, holding his hand and singing along to the tunes of the 80s songs on his caravan radio. And speaking of Nani, while I didn't get a lot of time with her, absolutely love listening to stories of her from Mummy, Sain Auntie, Reshma Auntie, and all. It gives me a lot of joy knowing how absolutely pampered I was by her. I mean, she used to hand stitch every dress I wore because I did a lot of nakhra as a baby for, like, when you had lace in dresses. And I was showered with love. I honestly wish that I could spend some more time with her, and not only her, but with Nana as well. And I'm like 100% confident that they would have been so excited and happy recently or at my wedding. I will always miss them and carry their memories with me forever. I just want to say one more thing, that while working on this profile piece and going through all the stories and anecdotes shared by everyone, it filled my heart with so many emotions. And I personally loved reading each and every one of them. And I'm actually excited to share them with all the readers of the profile. And I don't want to drag this on too long, but just one more thing that I want to add and conclude with is that to all the people who don't know my grandparents, I really hope that these stories will give you like a very small jhalak into their lives. And for all of them who do know them really well, I hope they take you down memory lane like they did with me, and with a big smile on your face. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Piksha. Would anyone else like to speak?
Yeah, I would like to go ahead. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, being the youngest in the family, I was like completely pampered by Nana and Nani. I used to love spending time with them, especially Nana. I remember coming back from school and just sitting with him, listening to his songs on the radio, and I remember him teaching me how to play carom. I still remember, like, he always defeated me, but I always tried to learn and get better at it always. But yeah, I cherish having time spent with them, and thank you for everyone for sharing your stories as well in the profile. I loved reading through them, and will be loving as well. Like, these memories will always be with me. Uh, yeah, I always would say that I'm blessed to have grandparents like Nana and Nani, and Nana always encouraged me to study and to go ahead. And as I said, a few of the stories like from his the cupboard and also the watch and everything, I still remember and I still keep them close to me.
Yeah. Anyone else from the grandchildren's side? What would the grand damad like to say?
I mean, I personally didn't know him, but I remember that he used to visit my nana's home when I was very small. But that's the only memory I have, probably. Yeah, I'm sure he must be a great. We agree, he was all the stories I've heard. They must be great people, and we should carry their legacy forward. I think. Yeah, that's what I would say. That's it.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak?
Me.
Yes, Bobby, please go ahead.
Oh, no
Bobby,
sound.
we can't hear you, you know. थोड़ा unmute कर दीजिए.
Yeah. नहीं तो
Bobby, थोड़ा unmute करिए.
देखना.
हाँ, yes.
So good evening, everybody.
and all the members of the Profile family. I would just like to share my memories with Gyan Mama and mine. Now, my Nana and Nani had a joint family, and being the eldest granddaughter in the family, I was pampered by all my mamas, mais, and mausi and mausajis. So, Gyan Mama really helped me in all stages of my career. So he was a very loving and caring person, and he used to visit us frequently in the Yakatpura house. He had a great taste for food. He himself was a very good cook. Mai also was a very good cook, and we had all parties in Nani's house. We celebrated all the festivals, especially Holi, Deepavali, Dasera, and all the children used to get together, have a good get together, and we really enjoyed all the love and affection of the grandparents and our uncles and aunties. So, being the eldest in the family, I used to stay with them for quite some time, and we used to have frequent meetings also. As school children, whenever we had summer holidays, we used to go with Gyan Mama to, he was posted to various districts like Suryapet, Nizambad, etc. And we all used to go and stay with him during the summer holidays. And we had a lot of, we really enjoyed those holidays, summer holidays. And in those days, we used to go to the theaters along with him, and we were treated as VIPs whenever we went with Gyan Mama. Now, then as we grew up, I still remember Mama's marriage, and then later on they shifted to Chapel Road and Banjara Hills. So even in Banjara Hills, we had regular parties, all the festivals we enjoyed together, and we had lot of fun. Even today, I miss them and their parties. Now, Mama also, as my father had was a patient, he used to have he was a heart patient. So Mama helped me in all my career activities. So when I was posted to Nizamabad as a medical officer during my first posting in the year 1968, Mama took me to Nizamabad, and then he got me a house and saw that I stay comfortably there. And later on, Nana and Nani, they used to come and stay with me. And Mama also used to visit me several times. He had helped me in all my aspects. Then also in building a house in Pragat in Yusufgura. So that house also was because of him only. He got it registered, and now we are not staying in the house, but it is we remember him whenever we visit the house. Now, Mama was very fond of good food, and he loved good. He had a very good taste for clothes and jewelry, and he also had a lot of affection for his children, and he used to guide them both in education, food, taking good food habits, and also giving them lot of love and respect. And he was a very calm and a simple person, but with very high standards of living. I miss him very much, and I really loved him and had a lot of respect for him. He loved Ramraj also. Both of us really enjoyed his visit, and whenever we found an occasion, we used to go to Banjara Hills, myself and Ramraj, and visit Mama and mine. So I had lot of memories of my grandparents' house, and as the eldest daughter, I was pampered by the entire family. I have lots of memories, and I still remember Praveena, Sareen, Sachin, everybody growing up with, and then enjoying all the parties. So Ramraj also wants to thank you for bringing out this profile, and he says he really loved him and enjoyed his company. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Bobby.
you, Jiki.
Mr. Vijay Ram Prasad, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's a great pleasure to talk about Gyan Mama My memory go back to my childhood days. I recollected when Gyan Mama used to take a leading role on all occasion in the, whether it's a small family gathering or wedding or in the family, he would always ready to help and guide family members. Gyan Mama stayed with us when he visited USA. It was like family reunion for me. We had the best time, and with Mama and we spent some quality time with Gyan Mama and when we were visiting several tourist places in USA. He was quite amazed by the advanced progress of USA in science and technology. During our tour, he would observe the speed at which we would travel on the highways. Both Mama and mine never got tired of traveling while I took them around to several tourist places in USA. So he enjoyed every bit of his stay in USA. So I think Gyan Mama was, we will always remember him in our lifetime. And I would like to also thank HMK Society for doing the wonderful job of organizing all the Mathur community functions and keeping Bradley informed throughout the world. So thank you very much. Back.
Thank you. Mrs. Reshma Karan, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah. Yeah, just a minute.
Oh, she's with you, is it?
Hi, everyone.
All right. Yeah, please go ahead.
I really have very fond memories of my dearest auntie and Mosaji. She was my favorite aunt. She gave me motherly affection, and I can never ever forget the intense love I got from her. One incident I would like to share here with everyone is she made very yummy kebabs, and I used to love her kebabs, and we would trade. She would say, "You make very good chicken 65. You give me that. I will give you my kebabs." I said, "What better deal than this is for me?" Then when I think she was in her last days, when she was being admitted to the hospital, before that, she called me and gave me a box full of kebab batter. She said, "Keep it in the deep freezer, and whenever you feel like, you fry 2 kebabs and have." I don't know whether I can make it again or not. And that was a moment very, very difficult for me and for her also. And it has edged very, very good memory, and the intensity of love it showed that she had for me. I learned a lot from her, how to lead my life, and I owe a lot to her, how I have organized myself, disciplined myself in my life because of her guidance. She guided me at every stage of my life. She was always there for me. And Mosaji was our strength. He was a strength and support to our family, basically. And when our house in Charminar was being renovated, he didn't even think once and immediately gave us shelter in his house in Banjara Hills for 2 years. That was his rented house. He had let it out on rent. He checked out the tenants and gave us the shelter, and we stayed in a house with him. And he was the person who taught me how to face challenges in life and with a calm mind without being perturbed or disturbed. And he also taught our family how to socialize and also enjoy life at the same time. They are 2 tremendous, amazing people I had in life. They are very close to my heart and will always be there. I have very fond memories of the time spent with them. I love them dearly. I love you, Auntie and Mosaji, a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? Nirmal ji?
Chachi,
निर्मल जी आप हैं? कुछ बोलना चाहते
क्या
हैं?
है छोटी चाची?
Okay. Anyone else would like to speak?
पायांटी, विनय कोई है? चाची आप अनम्यूट करके बोलिए। नहीं?
Okay.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I myself, Renu, I just want to say a few words
yes,
about
yes, please
Mama
go
and
ahead.
Bua.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, Mama and Bua, len den hua tha. So they are my Mama and Bua.
Okay.
Mama actually was a good guide, and he was a mentor too for our family. My parents had got lot of respects for Gyan Mama. Whenever there was a party at Banjar Isles, that is my place, my dad used to make sure that he is invited for sure. And Bua, as everybody said, she was a good cook. I'm saying this because I remember in summer, whenever I used to go and stay there, she used to make puris for breakfast, puri and aloo. So, in fact, I have learned how to make puris, that too in round shape from her. She used to make sure that always I make puris in round shape only. Also, because of them, myself and my brother Sudeep could visit many places. We used to accompany them whenever they used to go in summer holidays with them, and also watched many, many movies along with my buas and mama. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Now, anyone else would like to speak, or we?
Rohit, we have to go and check whether she's really making round puris or not.
I'm sure, yes, why not?
In fact, I have learned to make round puris because of Bua.
अब इतने अच्छी पूरियां बना रहे तो पूरी खीमे का प्रोग्राम तो बनना चाहिए।
ब्रेकफास्ट को आना पड़ेगा आपको। Hi
जरूर।
Vijeda.
Hello.
Hello Vijeda.
Hello, nice seeing you all.
Thanks, same here.
प्रेसिडेंट HMK को खिला दिए तो हम सबको बोल देते कि नौचा गोल पूरी बनाती
नहीं, प्रोफाइल में छापने के लिए तो फिर फोटो वोटो लेना पड़ेगा ना उसकी। खिलाए तो। Now I think it's time to release the profile. May I ask Praveena to do the honors? I think the profile is in your hands. Yeah.
Okay, going with it.
Golden paper looking nice. Oh, wow.
Yay.
Wow. Thank you. So that you have released it on behalf of your brother and sister.
Right, yes.
So,
Thank you. It's really come out well.
Yeah, thank you so much. So now I request, your brother and sister to release the e-profile. Please hold up your phones.
Yeah, I hope you can see.
Yes, yes, of course. Yeah, that's
of
it.
Course.
So, क्या आशीष कहाँ है आपका? अच्छा, very good, excellent. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would now request Nilesh and Vijlesh to, formally launch the e-profile.
Yeah, we have done it.
Yeah,
thank you.
great. Sharad Saab, कहाँ हैं आप? Mr. Sharad Raj
बिल्कुल
Mathur?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल आपके नजदीक
जी तो जरा सबको थैंक कर दीजिए
जरूर जरूर
on our behalf.
जी जरूर I thank Sachinda, Pravina Bhabhi and Sareen ji and other family members of Shri Gyan Chandra ji and Srimati Kiran Kishore ji for sponsoring this HMK profile issue January-March 2023. As rightly said by them, parents are the greatest heavenly gift to the children. Shri Gyan Chandra ji retired as a Deputy Inspector General. It is a big thing. And at the same time, he was down to earth. And to top it all, he was a big helping hand to the Biradri. Also rightly said, जो कुछ भी होता है सब अच्छे के लिए होता है. We all believe in it. Now I thank HMK Managing Committee and a dear President Dinesh Rajji for encouraging us every time. I thank Profile team for overall support in making up the profiles and updating us of the happenings of a Biradri to be incorporated in the profile, which is well compiled to the best by our dear editor, Rohit Da, resulting in the best output, which is appreciated by you all every time. I thank you again. Thanks a lot. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharad. And thank you, Nilesh.
Thank you.
I would also like to thank the entire profile team for supporting us and our president, as usual, for being our constant source of encouragement and support. So, Mohit, thank you for printing the profile, and Nachiket for hosting us today. Thank you. With the permission of the president, can we close the meeting, please?
Yes, yes.
So thank you
Goodbye
very much.
to all of you.
Thank
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
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 मेरा पिक्चर भी